Welcome to another Wednesday webinar um, with eBiz Marketing Academy. Looking forward to talking about what we've got to discuss today. It should be pretty exciting. So a little intro to myself and to who we are. My name is Omari Valentine. I am a digital marketer and web designer, and I've been in the industry doing interactive for over 20 years. I've been doing web for close to 10 years, and digital marketing the same. So pretty good knowledge about you know sort of best practices, and really the goal of eBiz Marketing Academy is to share our knowledge with the wider business community, so that there's a lot of information out there, and just kind of disseminate the information and help people kind of gain knowledge, and also interact with people who are sort of in the professionals in the industry. So as well as other business owners who are looking for help in those areas. So eBiz Marketing Academy is an online community and a platform for business skills learning. We basically are here to provide information for people in a number of different industries, or businesses in a number of industries: e-commerce businesses, service businesses, local businesses, also online coaches, and people who have purely online businesses, digital marketers, and more. Well, if you are in the area of selling your services online, you're probably in the right place. And I want to welcome you to one of our Wednesday webinars. We do webinars every Wednesday, we usually follow a theme. For this past month has been around chat messaging and chat marketing. So it's pretty exciting. Looking forward to talking more about that today. Next month, we'll be delving more into e-commerce specifically, and ways that you can improve your e-commerce performance. So the topic of today is RCS messaging and artificial intelligence. So we're kind of splitting it up. I think both of these are really important. We really wanted to dig into the future, what's coming up next year, since we're kind of at the end of the year. We'll want to close it out talking about what's going on for next year, and what are some of the things we can kind of look forward to. One of them is RCS messaging. So you may have heard of RCS before, but it basically stands for Rich Communication Services, and it's kind of being talked about and kind of being worked on and things like that. But I think there's a lot of people don't really kind of know a lot what's going on. So I just want to talk about that some. So first off, what is rich communication? What does it mean? So I'm sure everybody here has got a smartphone and uses chat apps besides just basic SMS. So rich communication includes a lot of the features that you can get on an app like a Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp, that you would not be able to get through SMS. So, for example, group chats, inviting people to group chats, location sharing, attaching audio files, creating rooms, sending large files, sharing videos, creating polls, and so forth. These are all kind of features that you would have in a rich communication, through just P2P, person-to-person, rich communication communications software. So basically, when we're talking about RCS messaging as it relates to marketing, it's really how marketers will be able to take advantage of the features available with rich communication. So in the past, we basically just had SMS messaging. Marketers obviously are using SMS messaging now with great effect. I mean, you can see some of the pros here on the screen. You have really wide adoption. Everybody's using SMS, so extremely wide adoption would be the pros. 98% open rate, which is huge if you're comparing it to emails. It creates a massive advantage in that area over emails. So huge open rate, 90% of the texts are read within 3 seconds, 29% response rate. So those are the pros. Cons would be their communication tools are limited, the feature set is limited, and so you don't really have the ability to engage directly with the consumer the way that you would be able to do with something a little bit more robust. So then we take a look at chat apps. So you have your chat, you've got chat apps like, like I said, Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp and so forth, and they give you a lot more rich communication features, as we talked about, and so it's a perfect opportunity for businesses to reach out to customers and connect with customers in a more variety of ways than they currently can do. The cons would be that there's a fragmented landscape. So so there's so many different apps that you could be on, and they don't talk to each other. That's where RCS comes in, because RCS basically combines them. So there's no so it defragments the landscape and allows businesses to communicate with customers across, regardless of the carriers they're on and so forth. So RCS messaging is the best of two worlds. They provide the features I mentioned, such as high-res photo and video sharing, mapping directions, location sharing, typing indicators. You can add and remove members from group chats, and they're all delivered to your device's default messaging app. So that's the one thing that's also really important to think about too. It's not as though you will need to download a new app in order to get these marketing. Your customers will not need to download a new app in order to get new marketing messages. They can basically get served these kinds of communications on their default messaging app, and that's pretty huge. So just right out the box on a device, on my text app, I'm able to get carousels and purchase buttons and add to cart buttons and things like that. Sort of more robust, more dynamic content streamed directly to my device. So you basically have two opportunities that have opened up. So you have P2P messaging, which is rich communication between humans. That's basically kind of what we have right now, but of course, again, we get to use our native interface, a native SMS interface for this, and so that's going to be opened up, as well as. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily going to be this year, but it's starting to open up. They're starting to be more opportunities for this, as well as A2P, or application to person messaging, which is opening up, and it's going to allow for branded conversations across networks, digital concert tickets and boarding passes, and high def video and PDFs to be sent and received by customers. So you can see on the right hand side an example of how sort of marketing communications would change from an SMS message, where it would basically send you to a link where you have to go to a website to track your package or view existing orders, versus just displaying that information directly on your screen and showing a map to whatever you're looking to your delivery address or to the package address. So what's going on next year? Google purchased a company called Jive, which is a cloud platform, and they've opened up what's called the Early Access Program. And the Early Access Program is basically an opportunity for companies that want to get access to the cloud platform in order to start tinkering and figure out ways that they can figure out applications to their RCS platform. And so it's really cool. It's currently open. You actually can go to the website and give your information, and it's probably not something that most companies or small businesses, as we're talking to, will be able to take advantage of right now. But it's interesting, and it's very interesting to see. You can actually look at the number of partners that are currently involved in the program. There's quite a lot of them. So it's a cloud platform. It's been adopted by a ton of carriers, including Sprint and T-Mobile. And the carriers are all over the globe. It's all over. So it's been adopted. There's wide adoption. It's only on Android because it's a Google program. So right now the early adoption is only on Android, and so we may start seeing these sorts of communications going out as early as next year. So it's really exciting. We're looking forward to seeing what comes in 2021, but we'll just keep our eyes on the news, and when new things come up, we'll be sure to communicate those. So moving on to artificial intelligence. That's another really exciting development. Obviously, artificial intelligence is nothing really new. I mean, we've had artificial intelligence for a long time. So I kind of want to talk about where we are with our artificial intelligence right now. When people think of artificial intelligence, they often kind of start with kind of what's called like general AI, or kind of like computers simulating human thought. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about what's called applied AI. So it's a very specific implementation of AI that does a specific task, and it basically learns. That's machine learning, and it basically learns tendencies and delivers content dynamically based on the tendencies that it learns. So an example of that would be product recommendations. So a product recommendation engine will kind of learn your tendencies learn the tendencies of the things that you're purchasing or the things that you're viewing, and then we'll serve up more of that. So it'll increase your engagement and keeps you hooked in, so that you can make more purchase decisions. So an example of that would be like a Netflix, like we see on the screen here, basically recommending products for you, the top picks for you. Search, obviously everybody knows Google search. Content curation is basically just serving up content, again very similar to the first, but it's basically serving up user generated content dynamically based on what the algorithm believes you're interested in. So these are sort of like the kind of high-end uses of artificial intelligence, and I think a lot of small business owners kind of drop off the discussion in that point, because it's not really like something that small businesses can really take advantage of. But there are some areas that small business owners can take advantage of, and that's what I really want to focus on today. So an example of something that small business owners can take advantage of would be AI enhanced PPC campaigns. So you basically have the ability to set your settings. For example, if you're using Google Ads, to set your ad strategy in a couple of different ways. And some of the ad strategies are pretty robust and AI enhanced. So you're taking advantage of the AI that Google gives you in order to make your PPC campaigns more successful. And some of the strategies that you can utilize would be maximizing your conversions. So you're basically looking to get the highest conversions you can. You can target CPA, or cost per acquisition. So you can try to keep your CPA at a specific level and try to get as many conversions as you can within a certain range. You can target your return on advertising spend, and then enhanced CPCs. And that's basically this basically gives you more. It's just basically more. It's another way to maximize your cost per clicks, basically. It gives you more of sort of Google sort of AI insights into maximizing your cost per click. So that's pretty cool. I think there's a lot of really cool things you can do with these. And it's really the best strategy you can use for these um, is to kind of test them against each other. So you can run a couple of different campaigns by maximizing conversions, targeting your cost per acquisition, seeing which ones are more effective for you, and then turning off the one that's least effective. That's one way you can maximize your PPC campaigns. The next thing is enhanced A/B testing. So it's kind of a blurry image here, but enhanced A/B testing is another thing. A lot of people are familiar with platforms such as Lead Pages, Unbounce, landing page landing page generators that allow you to build a landing page, and then we'll reformat the content of the landing page, and then serve up multiple versions of a landing page, and then, well, you may not know if you haven't used it much, is that the A/B testing can basically dynamically just serve out for different versions of the landing page, and kind of and allow you to see which version of the landing page is doing the best, and then also it also can dynamically kind of wind down landing pages that are performing worse and spin up or increase the visibility of landing pages that are doing better. So this is ways that you can sort of automate your landing pages, and kind of take sort of like some of the grunt work out of measurement and the application of your marketing on your landing pages, or serving up landing pages. So that's pretty cool. Chatbots, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Chatbots are really important, or really can be a really nice tool. And again, these are things that are currently available, and they are actually platforms that you can utilize, and some of them you can utilize at a very, very low cost or for free. So Chatbot, there's actually a WordPress plugin called Chatbot, and it's a really interesting plugin in that it gives you the ability to set up a sort of a chat dialogues tree, a dialogue tree, so that you basically can go from go across various options. It basically will set up a tree. So if a customer answers in one way, it'll select based on the tree. If the customer takes one option, then it'll serve up a message for that option, and then so kind of takes you down the road to leading to support, or leading to conversions, or whatever it is that you're looking to try, whatever action is that you're looking to trigger. So it can be a pretty useful tool. And the other advantage of Chatbot that we mentioned the last time was that the Chatbot gives you templates based on industry. So you don't have to worry about starting from scratch and building an entire conversation tree. It actually, based on your industry, will serve up a version of a tree for your industry, and then you can then go ahead and customize that. You can go ahead and customize that tree as you want. So you don't have to start from scratch. It's great for beginners, and you can pretty quickly get Chatbot implemented on your website. So that's really awesome. And then the last example that I would want to give for AI-driven data for artificial intelligence is AI-driven data insights. And this is also a really cool tool, and you can use Google Analytics. Some of the other platforms also have data insights on them, but you can use Analytics has insights as just built into it. So as you're gathering data for your website, you'll start to see insights populating the sidebar, and this insights will tell you about things that you might want to kind of notify you about things that you might want to keep an eye on. So it can kind of give you information about load times, like as you can see here, or information about where your conversions are coming from. These sorts of things are very useful. So it kind of, again, it's all there to kind of shorten the amount of time that you have to take building in these features. You can basically just have a quick just kind of glance over at your sidebar and see kind of what kind of information AI driven insights can give you, and then you can make adjustments accordingly based on that. So these are really cool tools that I want to kind of hone in on. So AI doesn't have to be some really big behemoth that you have to really kind of absorb all at once, but you can pick and choose what you think will do what you think is best for you, and integrate those into your strategy. So in conclusion, I just wanted to, again, go back, talk about, RCS, how RCS is really going to transform the landscape of communications, of mobile communications, with our development, or not, with the companies, communicating across first Android, but again, it'll be across all mobile soon enough. So it's a really good thing to kind of keep an eye on, and we'll be talking more about that later on in 2021, I'm sure. And then also, just again, AI is really continuing to remove barriers for smaller competitors, allowing smaller guys to compete in the space where previously only large companies competed with, and so I think it's a really cool thing to keep an eye on as well. So with that, I will conclude, and just say, again, thank you for joining for this presentation, and hopefully we'll be seeing you in some future presentations. Like I said, next month we'll be talking about e-commerce. I'm really excited about that one. We're going to have a few different topics there to discuss, and so yeah, looking forward to that. I want to wish everyone here a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and a very exciting and prosperous 2021. Thank you so much for joining.